via TKO September of 2015. Lost to Hokkaido, the grand finalist, not the actual champion, who was, of course, the baby.
Yes, young Richard.
Ricky Baby are defending 73 kilograms. Well, not defending, but a current 73 kilogram lightweight, whatever you so call it. Oh, starting things off very quickly. Both these fighters very lanky. Both these fighters very thin, very lanky, using those long limbs. It's almost like a reach. The reach is almost a stalemate, Cal. I think they're
oh, yes, indeed. They're going to have to try and find those awkward angles to shoot. Like we saw that spinning back kick to start the match. We're going to see some uppercuts. We're probably going to see some looping hooks. It's going to be any way to try and get in because you can't just do it with jabs in this one.
Yeah, so uppercuts and downer cuts all together at the same time. Nice exchange, moving around. The beauty of 73 kilograms is how quick on their feet and how just fast these fighters are, and yet there's no sacrifice. Oh, nice flying knee, just as we say it. No sacrifice of power. Oh, nice head kick. And of course, the frail bodies of these 73 kilogram fighters means that someone's probably going to get concussed way more seriously.
And let's be frank, these guys are smaller, but it's not just because they're in better shape and they have more stamina and determination. They're on a lot more drugs, too, in most cases. So that's going to add some real interesting weaknesses and strength, like fast twitch muscle, and probably going to be able to cry a little bit at the end of the fight when one of them needs a fix.
No doubt, that's a very important strategy, and look at Hergen Bjergensen. Oh, big knee! Oh, he rocked Darrell. Schitt is just perhaps falling on the canvas.
No, Darrell is keeping up. Darrell is still standing. He is not falling on the canvas.
Gotta wonder if how much the ropes in that corner pad is helping keep him up, Cal. Hergen Bjergensen goes right back to that clinch. He went for a second knee. It didn't land as good as the first one. That knee seems to have cut the cheek, perhaps the eye of Darrell Schitt. Oh, we've got some bloody shit all over his face.
Well, Darrell is indeed bloody, and you have to remember there's probably a good bit of swelling on Darrell as well. You cannot count out that swelling when it comes to what's going on in this fight currently at the current time and position we're in.
Yes, when shit has you swollen, that's not very good at all. And Bjergensen just going right in for it. He is just he's just diving. He's going for that clinch, which is proven to be good so far. But again, Schitt also very good in the clinch. It's the thing, like Hergen Bjergensen. I mean, it's an interesting strategy. He's just lowering his head and diving headfirst right into Schitt.
Well, no, like he's not really lowering his head. He's keeping his head in the same spot, and he's keeping the inside with his hand position, so he's actually doing quite well at defending. He also is a little bit cut up right now, but quite frankly, he's
I don't actually know a strike actually cut him up, but it was one of those grazing strikes had him cut actually in a very similar place where Darrell Schitt is.
I mean, they're doing a lot of dirty boxing, a lot of really dirty infighting. A lot of pressure and force in this. Like Darrell's applying a lot of pressure to try and take the positioning back.
Yes, nice spin by the way. And that's the thing with clinching. It's all momentum. It's all movement. You know, you can use one quick turn, one quick effortless turn, and all of a sudden you're in an advantageous position. And you can see how they're covering up. They're both so tired. This clinch fighting is such an exhausting part of mixed martial arts and the Kumite. And you can see they're just winging those punches.
You can't just lean and lay in like if you take someone to the ground. You've always got to be active. You always have to be trying to get to an advantageous position. Otherwise, you're going to eat a knee or you're going to eat an uppercut, and that's going to take you to the floor, and that's going to take you out. We've already seen the devastation of the knees once, and both these men have landed some heavy knees already in this fight. Honestly, the next one could be the one that puts a man's lights out.
For a second, it was Bjergensen up against the ropes. Now it's Darrell Schitt. Oh, nice clinch. Nice use of just pulling down on the neck and trying to discombobulate this move. Darrell Schitt off balance.
Honestly, if I'm one of these guys right now, I'm trying to go for some loopy, wacky outside shots. Maybe a head kick, maybe a spinning back kick, an awkward hook, something different that these men aren't going to expect because it's all been clinched. They really got to use some more finite strategy.
The awkward kick, indeed. Now, here's the question, Cal. You're seeing the clinching, the struggling, they're getting fatigued. It's all this arm strength if they're not using their full bodies. Are we going to see some of the hands start to drop? Is someone primed to get knocked out at this point?
Oh, honestly, hands are going to be dead in the second round because once they have that sweet, sweet rest period and they get the water and they get themselves re-energized, they're going to be instantly dead when the next round begins.
They're going to be energized and then dead. That's an interesting.
Well, because once you've had 5, 10, 20 seconds of rest, you want to immediately go back to that resting point. You don't want to continue. You don't want to go forward. You don't want to move ahead. You don't want to try to detect it because it's not too late. You can beat him. Beat him good.
Sounds like the very experienced. It sounds like something that you've experienced very much yourself. It's going to be interesting to see. There we see from the very beginning. Oh, caught him right in the floating rib.
And there we go, dirty boxing. And that's that was the knee that really dazed Darrell completely.
Oh, right in the nose, just the knee, right to Schitt.
And look, some looping hooks, but not really much damage there.
I think one of those strikes in the second round could spell the end for Darrell Schitt. Are you impressed with Hergen Bjergensen? I think Darrell Schitt is a fan favorite. I think as far as the rankings go, he's one of those top names in all of KUMITE. Are you impressed with Hergen Bjergensen? He seems to have now gotten a lot of respect so far in KUMITE. This could be a breaking out period.
Well, like I said, I think this might be his year to get into the semifinals. I think he is potentially our breakout star thus far. And I think he's landed the harder strikes and the more devastating strikes in this match thus far. But I don't like the way he's fighting now.
Yeah,
he's letting too much in.
He was just absorbing so many dirty boxing strikes that they were close range, so they may not have had a lot of mustard on them, but they certainly did have just enough relish. And nice trading the head kicks again.
Like I said, those loopy strikes, you gotta go outside, you gotta go a little bit different. If all you've been doing thus far, he's trying for a push kick.
Oh, nice uppercut.
Beautiful.
Perhaps the downer cut going along with it.
Oh, and going to the body. Nice. I love it. Love it. They're fighting smart now. They're trying to change things up, and then you go back to the dirty boxing. Then you go back to continuing to wear the person down, because once you've landed some of those more effective outside strikes, you can really go back to this position, get a little bit of rest,
absolutely,
and land.
Bjergensen backed into a corner, nicely spun out of it as well. And that's the thing, he's a man who doesn't get a lot of respect here in KUMITE. I think, you get the stigma of stalking an Icelandic pop star. You don't really get that sort of respect. You don't really get talked about. Oh, he whiffed on an uppercut. I don't know what in the world happened there.
I think
he had Darrell Schitt's chin wide open.
He's winning the round here by continuing to force the dirty boxing open.
Nice, there's that spinning back kick. He's got that energy still with him. He's able to throw something a little fancy free like that.
Oh,
and goes for the
honestly,
first takedown I think we've seen all fight.
Oh my God!
Oh,
what the hell?
Out. Oh, there's been a flattened, pounded piece of shit on the canvas.
Yes, Darrell is indeed knocked out. He did get hammer-fisted a couple of times, and that's all it took. Honestly, I think that was brilliant, taking to the ground. Both men completely tired, and the person who was going to be on top might have just had enough to get the other person out cold with that.
Cal, that was the first takedown we saw in the entire fight, and it was ultimately the one that decided it. I think, Hergen Bjergensen started to realize, maybe that was some of the corner advice, once you take him down, he's too tired, and that's the thing, he decided he just needed to fist enough times that he finally reached Schitt. And that's a lesson for all of us. Hergen Bjergensen, his first ever chance to be his first ever semi-final berth. And Darrell Schitt, a nice sign of respect. They had one hell of a fight, but it's Hergen Bjergensen representing Norway